When players get drafted into the NBA, every single one of them comes with a certain set of expectations based on how they are viewed at the time. Some are seen as can't-miss prospects destined to dominate, some are projects that require patience in order to unlock their full potential, and some are specialists that excel in certain areas of the game. But one thing that's similar across the board with all of them is that the rookie seasons tend to be inconsistent, and it's not usually until year 2 that they look more comfortable out on the floor and start to play with more confidence now that they have a year of experience under their belts. This brings us to the topic of today's video, where we'll be discussing 6 second-year NBA players in particular who are having very impressive breakout seasons this year, after having inconsistent rookie seasons. Before we start though, it turns out about 67% of you watching right now aren't even subscribed to the channel, so please, if you enjoy the content, consider hitting the subscribe button, as not only does it help out a ton, but I would also very much appreciate it. Now, with that being said, let's begin. The first second-year player we'll be discussing today that is currently having a big-time breakout season this year is RJ Barrett of the New York Knicks. The Knicks have arguably been the most surprisingly good team in the whole league this year, as at the time I'm making this video, they're in 4th place in the Eastern Conference standings, and while Julius Randle and his All-Star campaign have typically gotten most of the credit, Barrett's work out on the floor cannot be overlooked. His rookie season wasn't bad by any means, but the Knicks didn't really cater much to him, and he wasn't always able to play to his strengths, which resulted in very inconsistent play. This year, however, he's at the center of a lot of what the Knicks do, and he looks incredibly comfortable embracing this all-around role. He's putting up about 17 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists per game. The ball is in his hands a lot more, and he's been given more of a green light to be aggressive in creating off the dribble for either himself or others, and he's taken over in some big moments and led his team to wins that they just were not getting a year ago. Additionally, he's a terrific perimeter defender, and that's definitely been key to earning Coach Tom Thibodeau's trust from the jump. The top 2 picks in this draft class, Zion Williamson and Ja Morant, may get all the shine as bona fide stars already, but RJ Barrett is doing well to work his way towards them in that top tier. The next second-year player we'll be discussing having a big breakout season this year is DeAndre Hunter of the Atlanta Hawks. Hunter's season very unfortunately got cut off by an injury a few weeks ago, but he'll be returning to the court soon, and when he does, he'll look to continue building upon the momentum that he had built up beforehand. Prior to the injury, Hunter was looking like one of the best 3-and-D players in the entire league, and honestly limiting him to just being a player in that kind of category doesn't do him justice for all of the ways that he's been improving his game. Hunter was arguably the team's most consistent player in the games that he was playing, and he provided a very reliable source of scoring and defensive tenacity. On the year so far, he's scoring about 17 points per game while shooting 51% from the field. He does well spacing the floor, and even his off-ball movement and post-game have been fine-tuned in the offseason, and the results are showing out on the court this year. Defensively, he comfortably defends positions 1 through 4, and that kind of impact is greatly missed on the team right now, as the Hawks have lost 10 of their last 14 games without him. The next player we'll be discussing that falls into this category is Darius Garland of the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavaliers as a team are fully shifting towards their rebuild and have made that clear by benching Andre Drummond until they find a trade partner to send him to, and as a result, the success of the Cavs they were having early on has started to fade a bit, but amid all of this, Garland has been having a very nice season that you should not overlook. As the point guard of this young team, his ability to orchestrate the offense and create for those around him has shown very noticeable improvement. His scoring from all 3 levels have been more consistent, and his production has taken a leap across the board as a result. He's putting up about 16 points and 6 assists per game this year on nice shooting splits of 44% from the field and 38% from 3, both ranking slightly above league average, and the combination of him and teammate Colin Sexton are actually proving to be a very talented backcourt guard duo to build around. He's crafty, he's skillful, he can get his shot off at any moment off the dribble, and that kind of shot creation will be very useful as he continues to develop moving forward. The next second-year player we'll be discussing having a nice breakout year is one that most people saw coming, being Tyler Herro of the Miami Heat. Herro's coming out party in the playoffs last year put himself on the map, and now this year he's been given the bigger role that we anticipated he would get, which in turn has seen his production improve across the board. He's averaging about 17 points, 6 rebounds, and arguably most notably, he's averaging about 4 assists per game, as his playmaking has been one of the biggest areas that he's improved. With everything that the Heat have gone through early on this season, with COVID and players missing time, Herro has often been forced to handle the ball a lot, and his improvement from a year ago to now in regards to creating for others, attacking the basket, creating his own offense on a consistent basis, and his ability to finish at the rim are all areas that he's noticeably improved in. He's been a controversial player this year because of the trade rumors he's been involved in and the way that the Heat organization and their fans have seemingly begun to overrate him a little bit. But while he definitely has things he needs to improve upon, like his defense and his decision making at times, it's undeniable that he is a promising player heading in the right direction. The next second-year player having a nice breakout year this year is Keldon Johnson of the San Antonio Spurs. Johnson is one of the most under-the-radar players this year, and after having a breakout performance in the bubble last year, he's built upon that momentum that he built and turned it into genuinely solid production on a regular basis. The Spurs have a strangely slept-on team as a whole this year, as they are currently a top 5 team in the Western Conference standings, yet they don't get really any attention from the mainstream audience. Johnson's emergence, as a result, has been pretty underrated, but Spurs fans are very excited about his potential for a reason. On the year, he's averaging about 15 points per game, and he's a very good rebounder for a guard, grabbing 7 boards per game as well. He does everything at full speed, he attacks the basket strong and finishes well through contact, and the energy that he brings is contagious to the rest of the team and really ignites them on both ends of the floor. And finally, the last player we'll be discussing today having a very impressive breakout season this year is Michael Porter Jr. of the Denver Nuggets. Porter Jr. is another player who most fans of the game saw coming because the Nuggets lost a few key wing contributors in the offseason, which was obviously going to result in Porter getting more minutes and being included more in the offense. His ability to comfortably shoot over defenders, being 6'10" with a nice long wingspan, gives him an edge over most defenders, and that shot making has been on display all year long. He scores about 14 points per game, and he shoots an efficient 49% from the field and 40% from 3, and honestly, there isn't a single shot that Porter doesn't think he can make. At times, this kind of mindset can be detrimental, and he does still need to work on his decision making and shot selection overall, but when he catches fire, there's really not a whole lot that you can do about it. After his back injury that he suffered in college, he's been proving to be worth the risk that the Nuggets took on him when they drafted him, and moving forward, he'll only continue to get better and better. And with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what you think about the players we discussed and any other second-year players that you think are breaking out this year. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.